Well, I have the tropical grow room basically set up. I've now got an additional light in here. We've got one light, we've got two lights, we've got the CFL from the other video, and then we have the third LED light in there. We've got a fan spinning over there for ventilation, and I've moved some of the less robust tropicals into here, some of the ones that just haven't been faring so well in the main garden. Some of them have been, so for instance this one came back from the dead last year and is doing really good. This is one of those Brazilian cherries, so that one's doing quite well, but I moved it in here anyway. I've got all the little tropicals that were quite young from Neil in here, and soon the dragon fruit's going to be moved in as well. I'm yet to install proper exhaust in here as well. So one of the problems that you have growing in a tent like this is that it gets really humid, which is great. Tropical plants love humidity, but humidity also comes, especially with lack of air circulation, comes with mold and all sorts of other problems that we just don't want to deal with. It can lead to moisture building up on the lights in here, which is a bad problem to have with electricity around. Even though I have all the cables, even though they're really messy, set up off the ground, I don't want water and condensation to be building up in them. So I do have a quite large venting exhaust fan that will be coming in the next few days, which will go into one of these kind of side slots here, and that'll just be pumping air out. Now a couple of the boards that I've got here, this is just a regular old power board, and I know there's going to be some electricians out there. Can't remember, maybe Neil's an electrician himself, but there'll be some electricians out there looking at all these daisy-chained electronics thinking, wow, that's it's not what I would do. But look, at least in the meantime, I think it's going to be, I'll keep an eye on it. This board up here is actually a smart board. This one will be programmed, it can be set to a timer so that the lights can come off and on automatically. It also has a surge protector inbuilt, so should anything in here surge, that should flick, as well as the regular RCDs, etc. in the house. Even though all of this is coming from a single power point, it also means that it's on a single fuse, so should anything draw too much current in here, that should just snap off hopefully fairly quickly. And of course the final protection measure is there's not actually a lot to burn in here if something terrible was to happen and to be overheating. This is in a separate shed to the rest of the house. There's no combustibles or anything around it, but touch wood, and there isn't really any wood in here. I think it should be fairly safe. There's not going to be any more lights added, or there might be a single more light added. We'll see as we require. I've got a light meter on the way, but the main reason I was taking this video was to kind of keep an eye on how these plants start to respond now they've been put in here. And it's funny, and I might be just seeing things. I put this in here 2 days ago and I can already see new leaves coming off. This is a canistel. I know that some of those new leaves are already growing outside, but just I'm so convinced that just in 2 days it's already started to flush growth, and it is really warm in here. Similar, this is a Mame Sapote, and although it's done very little in months outside, it's got a whole bunch of new leaves coming on. So this is kind of a bit of a video diary for me as well, just to see how these plants fare. This one, which is doing very, very poorly, this is actually a jackfruit. It's been outside. If you haven't seen this in previous videos, it's in the front. It's recent acquisition, and as you can tell, it's not having the best life so far. This Cha that was sitting outside, you could see in one of my other videos, its leaves were getting a bit discoloured. Even though it was in a partially shaded position, it was only getting morning sun. I'm pretty sure that that's sunburn on those leaves there. And gosh, I'm already working up a sweat walking around in here. It's only been a few minutes. This is definitely quite warm in here. I would imagine we're probably sitting around the 27, 28 degrees. Now, one of the interesting things, this black Sapote is one that is new from memory. Well, I've still got another one over there which actually got through the winter last year. But this one's a new one. They're both starting to flower at the moment. Now, because I intend to keep these in a pot essentially forever, especially this one, which is in a really large kind of 80-litre container, I think that pot is. I'm going to let them fruit in here, and I might pluck off all the fruits if they fruit, except for maybe one or two, just to give it a try, give the different varieties a try. But if they do get pollinated and a beautiful black sapote starts to form, I'll let that grow. Down here we have another Brazilian cherry. This is one that got through the winter last year. It's been in the infirmary for a while now, and it's just come into here, so you can see how many new leaves are on here. Maybe we'll check in after a week of being in here just to see how some of these plants are faring now that they're in more tropical environments in this warm grow tent. This is the Jackfruit from the last 2 videos ago when I did that big update, and this one's putting on some new leaves. It was putting on new leaves already. I moved it out of, it's getting a bit shaded by rosemary. Back here we have a Rollinia. Now the Rollinia is one of the ones that I am particularly interested in trying the fruit of, so I'm very happy that that's in here. I'm going to let that fruit in its pot too. Maybe if I'm lucky I'll get one this year. Don't have to worry about winter anymore, so I can let it just basically do its things for the next 12 months or so. So yes, and back in the corner down there, there's a couple of little plants in here. This is an American pawpaw that was in the infirmary, not doing very well. Hopefully the humidity helps that out. And back down here we actually have that ice cream bean, which has started to put on new growth with the recent heat, but will obviously do much better in this environment as well. So the more sensitive tropicals in here already. Let's see how we go over the next couple of weeks. The Patanga tuber. This Patanga tuber has been a stick for about 12 months now, so let's see what happens now. Let's see if everything takes off. Alright guys, I know that's a very long-winded kind of talk, and especially since I already put a video up this morning, but I really do want to document it, and if I'm going to do that, you may as well see as well if you're interested. Alright guys, catch you later.